And going back to the original design of VOLO, we wanted to be able to give people the biggest options to get VOLO into the premises. We offer Ethernet connection or GSM. So by default, the controller will always think that Ethernet is its primary connection mode. Upon power up, it looks for the Ethernet connection. It doesn't see that, it kicks into the GSM. We run both elements of it. A lot of competition in the market will say, well, they are Ethernet with a GSM connectivity, but you have to get a third-party SIM. As VOLO, we offer that whole package, and we did that deliberately because as a manufacturer over the too many years in the security industry, I've seen that sort of when you hand it over to bring a third party in, there's a bit of a grey area where things drop through and their service mechanism goes. So from a CIE tech support, they can actually say, right, okay, we're fine with your Ethernet or SIM connected, it doesn't matter, we can see how your device is connecting. We can then run really good connection logs to see when the device is on Ethernet, when it changes to GSM, when it changes to GSM, which mobile phone provider, which cell SIM it's connected to, the last strength and the last tower it was connected to. So we can see all of that information and give that information back to the installer to say, hang on, this is how we know it's working, this is how your device is doing. So it gives far better information about how the device is working, because again, what we've got to remember is that we're trying to ask people to fit VOLO in remote, disparate sites to bring everything together into one area. So naturally, you want somebody to be able to be sat in an office in the comfort of a warm office on a laptop or a desktop without having to be on a wet, windy site and know everything that's going on. So a dual connection pathway guarantees that uptime. So if that network fails, it can send us an email to say, yeah, the network has failed, it's now switched over to GSM. If the GSM then the Ethernet restores, the GSM will hand it back to the Ethernet and we'll send another email so it's gone back to the Ethernet. That sits in the connection log as well. Likewise, if the device changes SIM provider, we'll know it through its last will disconnect, so whether it's disconnected from a certain provider and moved to another. We can see all this information, so at all times installer and end users can know how their device is performing, how it's working, when and if it falls offline, so we can get a good identification as to what may have caused it. But I said the key point really is with VOLO is that VOLO offers both those management of both those connection pathways. So it's got that complete wraparound service to say we know what our device is doing at all times. VOLO is totally open protocol to all types. Over the 10 years of being with VOLO, that's the hardest part to try and make tangible. But I think the important thing is to realize is that no matter what the brand, no matter what the type of reader, the technology that the data is moving is the same. It's either going to be Wigan or it's going to be clock and data. Yes, we have the advent of newer technologies coming through now, and VOLO is moving with those as well. So whether that device, whether it be a Bluetooth reader, whether it be a QR code reader, whether it be a biometric, facial recognition, AMPR, any other type of reader, standard proximity reader, and again, whether that be very high-end encoded MyFair with the highest level of encryption, VOLO doesn't mind because it will see that information coming back through. So when we look at our integration with end devices like that, we're looking at the technology rather than the brand and the way in which, because as long as we can see a weekend or a clock and data output with that, we can manage that data and bring that in. So that gives us that complete flexibility. And that's where, coming back to a little bit about refurb markets and things as such, that means that existing readers stay in place. You can have multiple different readers around, so you can have continuity of platform with differing end devices. So all of a sudden, if you may have had brand A over here and brand B on this block here, doesn't matter. Leave brand A's readers there and credentials there, brand B's readers and credentials over there. Put VOLO in as the platform behind it, and you've got that uniformity of brand and management without the need of having to do that. See, we've got lots of clients all over the country that have got 4 or 5 different brands of readers, different technologies of readers as well, because we're just going to bring that common technology together, and that's how we'll do it. And we'll do it in a slightly more basic way, because we're looking at the technology, but that's the right way, because we're not brand sensitive in that respect. And I remember the conversation about looking at the menus of drop downs, going, we were originally going to put every brand, and we realized, well, you'd be scrolling through an awful lot, and how do we keep that current? So we didn't. Our drop down for our reader settings is done by technology type. So whether that be 26-bit Wigan, 64-bit Wigan, whether that be custom format, or whether that be clock and data, doesn't matter. We can set that up and then you hang that device on it.